On the Perf podcast, coming to you from the range in Minnesota, the morning after Multigun Nationals. Adam and Adam here, chilling in the camper, happy that it did not rain yesterday. Staff got real rained on. Regular shooters, we got real lucky. As always, On the Perf podcast brought to you by Atlas Gunworks, and it should be noted that 2 of the 3 podium spots taken up by Atlas shooters, including the top spot, our boy, Varric Bicey, crushing the field. Not crushing. He won by 1%, but he won it.
It came right down to the wire. They were stages apart. They were one stage apart, and they were kind of like peeking around the berm at each other, wondering how it was going to go.
It was a tight one. Dude, the John and Varric race, like, I'm sure that every time either one of those guys doesn't beat the other guy, they're super bummed. But I'll tell you what, look, quick little tangent here. We're not going to get too off track. But if you guys follow rally racing in America, so driving Subarus through the trees at 110 miles an hour, which is the best motorsport, Brandon Semenuk came into rally from a freestyle mountain bike background and had 3 or 4 seasons of like super tight neck and neck competition with Travis Pastrana and gosh darn it, what's the guy that owned DC shoes? Ken Block. And so they just had like back and forth, you know, for like 3 or 4 years. And then Ken died, and then Travis moved divisions, and now Brandon's by himself winning rallies by like several minutes, which is not the gap that usually happens. And I feel like it's kind of ruined the man because now he has no competition. So, John, are you listening? I know you don't like second place, but I'm telling you, it's a good thing you have a Varric. If for the next time that you're in second place, Varric, are you listening? I know you don't like second, but it's a good thing you have a John. You guys need each other. You really do.
It's very synergistic.
It is.
It's also kind of I don't know what the word is, but they're both native here. Like,
yeah,
Varric and John both came up in this 3-gun community at this range.
Yeah.
So they both have home field advantage here. Yeah. They're both very familiar. Everybody knows, you know, they're our hometown boys.
Yep.
Even though like John's gone off to bigger, better things, he still comes back around. And Varric also very much on the trail anywhere that there's a 3-gun match. But it is kind of, I don't know, it's I don't know, it's just been an experience to see him start in the sport and then ascend so high.
Yeah.
You know, like anybody who's been shooting 3-gun in Minnesota, greater Minnesota area for a while has watched these guys. You know, they probably have memories of when they were fumbling magazines and dropping stuff on the ground, and now like somehow they've learned how to split 15s at a dead sprint. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's been so good to watch. Yeah, I talked to John today for the first time since I shot with him at Hard as Hell in like 2018 or 19, whenever the last one in St. George was. And I was like, dude, the last time I saw you, I had 5 inches on you and you were like running into walls at a dead sprint and still beating everybody. I'm pretty sick to see the progression. But before we get into our main topic, we got a couple pieces of housekeeping. Piece number 1, our boy Randy. So we did him dirty when
wait.
Oh, I'm getting there. Don't. I have the Gary.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
I thought it was your turn to forget the Gary.
No. I got the Gary. I just wanted to get the housekeeping out of the way because I think the Gary might take a second.
Get yourself a beverage.
I got you. Don't you worry. I'm the one here who's not hungover, and I'm the one stuttering. So,
that's very ironic.
Maxwell had a lot of the victory champagne last night.
Very drunk last night.
So, yeah. Anyways, we did our boy Randy a little dirty when we were talking about the High Desert Championship. I said that my entire squad, except for me, timed out on stage 1. That was not true. Randy Stevens did not time out on stage 1. He shot 289 seconds and left the 400-yard steal. Now the par time is 300 seconds, so he beat it by 11 seconds. He did not time out, but I'm going to say that the point I was trying to make still stands. At that stage was way too hard for most people. But
he stopped because he chose to stop.
Yes, he finished shooting, and then the timer went off when he was unloading his guns. Now, the Gary of the day. Oh, it's a good one. Today's Gary is getting DQ'd from Applebee's.
Oh, I forgot about that.
After getting DQ'd from the match. Our boy John, we love you, John, and your dog. He got DQ'd at both places. AD'd in both places. We rolled in there like, all right, let's go get kicked out of an Applebee's, and we damn near did. Oh, it was so good. Oh, what a good match, man. I'm so stoked. This has been such a good weekend. How'd your weekend treat you, Mr. Amax? You've been a little more stressed out this weekend than I have because you actually had like responsibilities and shit. It sounded terrible.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would say I'm really stoked with what we put together for the match this year, and kind of like I was saying at the award ceremony, like when we took on Multigun Nationals 3 years ago, I think this is where we are now is kind of what I had pictured when I agreed, where I wanted it to go. Like it was kind of broken at the time, and to get it back on the rails, like now I feel like we have fixed it enough that it's back on the rails, and now we can actually start to grow it more organically. Whereas before, I thought we were doing a lot of brand repair, a lot of rules updating, a lot of format exploration, and kind of orienting people with, the way to a new way to do it. Introducing hit factor. Well, we didn't introduce hit factor, but making hit factor more commonplace and more of a standard practice, and getting everybody comfortable with that and the dynamic, how it changes the way the match is shot, like strategy wise, and challenges we can present, making stuff worth different points and things like that. So really happy with how it turned out and the direction we are going to take it. Obviously, like I like to say, I'm a lot of the accolades float in my direction just because I'm the match director, but I always like to point out that I'm a member of a club. All right, so I'm one of many people that makes this happen. I think we had somewhere between 30 and 40 staff people here. Most of them, or I shouldn't say most, but a solid third of them were here a week prior, building. And I guess that's kind of tangential, but like what gets me, like I talk to a lot of other match directors around the country, and they're like, oh man, I've been out here for like 2 months building this match, blah 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 blah. And I kind of look around, I'm like, what did you do for 2 months? This match goes up in 3 days. Like there is nothing, and then the match is here in 3 days, and it was gone and put away before anyone lifted off from Minneapolis airport. Like it was tucked away. So I don't really understand how people take so long to build matches, but there's a lot of people put in a lot of solid work, and that's really what makes it here. And probably the most special part of it to me is the community that we have here that makes Three Gun what it is. I think from a match director's standpoint, like it went pretty smooth. There's just choppy stuff that's gonna happen in the background. That's just running a major event. I think I definitely have to grow as a manager. There used to be, when I started match directing, I could pretty much pull this thing out of my ass and just wing it. And we've kind of grown to the point beyond we can't get away with winging it anymore. We have to be more deliberate and stuff. And so some of the logistics stuff leading up to it, and how we manage some of that stuff on the front end is going to change for this year. The shooters won't really see that. If it's well executed, it will just it'll just look like an event that runs more seamless in the front when they're here. But some of the back end stuff's going to change for this year. Other than that, I had some late nights with our friend and listener at
we love you, DJ.
at Practice Score tech support, because I'm also the stats guy this year, and so the issue is not with Practice Score. It's easy to pick on Practice Score because people hate technology, right? It wasn't an issue with Practice Score, but Practice Score because well, it's free software. All right, so like you get what you pay for. But like the way that it's set up, it works, but there are a few intricacies that are kind of like order of operations things. So if you do some things out of order, you can throw a glitch in the matrix. And so in between the staff match and the main match, making sure that the stages were built correctly in Practice Score, we ran into some order of operations challenges in there. And like big shout out to the Practice Score people. They did take the staff match. We sent it over to them. They essentially completely disassembled it and reassembled it and then put all the scores back in and then sent it back. Eugene and DJ had some pretty late nights, or I think one late night in particular.
For Practice Score being completely free software, they have better customer service than most things that you pay a lot of money for.
Absolutely. Yep. There are at least two 24-hour people you can call. I don't know. Steph probably listens to the show too, or maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But DJ and Gunshine Steph are 100% on call 24 hours a day, especially when you're running a major match. So like when DJ knows that when we are running events, he stays pretty close to his phone. If I call him in the middle of the night, he answers until a point. But they are very accessible, very available, because I mean the whole reason Practice Score started was they wanted the scores to be out there and they wanted them to be correct, and so they do a very good job. But like I say, when you get a lot of people interacting with a tablet and you're syncing stuff, you're pulling stuff in, you're pushing stuff out, lots of opportunity for glitches. And I would say that was probably the highest stress factor on all that stuff was just kind of some Practice Score challenges we had this year.
Yep. Yeah, well, from the staff side, I think this might be the only major match I've ever shot where I didn't have a single thing that could even remotely be construed as a negative experience with any staff. Like, every single staff member was awesome. Like, every last one of them. And I don't think that's ever happened. There's always, like, one guy where you're just like, man, if it wasn't for Bob on stage 3, like, this would have been great. But, like, he just took the stoke right out of it. Like, no. Like, every single person who worked this match was fantastic to be around. Like, thank you guys all so much. And I'm going to, not just because I'm sitting here with the match director, but I'm going to blow a little sunshine on this match because I started thinking about it last night while Maxwell was texting me for a ride. And I was like, man, when is this match was awesome, you guys. Like, it was legit one of the best, I'm going to say the best bay stage matches, because, it's a bay stage match. There's a jungle run, but it's in bays, and you know me, I like running through the woods and shooting things at 500 yards, and there was none of that because this range doesn't have it. But I had to go back. I went back through Practice Score, and I went back through my YouTube channel where all my major matches are, and I was like, when is the last time I shot a match in bays that was this good? And I got back to 2019 UML Nationals, or the UML Championship, before I got to a match where I was like, that might have been as good as this. And I don't really remember because that was a long time ago. But this is legit the best base stage 3-gun match I've shot since 2019, for sure.
Wow.
You crushed it, dude. Like, It was so good. And because it wasn't, and some of those like UML matches were like, I mean, that was fun and all, but it was just like straight hosey as fast as you can shoot on every single stage, or whatever the case may be. There was a theme, and the theme went through the whole match. And this match had long range shooting, hard offhand shooting, super technical shotgun stuff with no shoots, tight positions where if you screwed up by one step, it was a couple seconds of your time. It was awesome, dude. Like, you crushed so hard, and anybody who didn't come out to this thing is absolutely blowing it. Like, it's the best one of the year so far. Like, it's been freaking awesome. So you nailed it, buddy. Appreciate you.
I didn't crush anything. It's all of our people.
All right. Well, the match crushed it. The staff crushed it.
Tim Dundry, Spencer Marsh, Spencer Marsh
on the spot.
Dang it!
Don't fuck this up, Maxwell. Don't let anyone down.
Josh Erickson, Spencer Marsh, and Tanfo Tim designed most of the stage. Well, Kevin Harrington, the Range Master, designed some too. Those are the stage design guys, and like they also grew up, quote unquote, at our Wednesday night series that I started here with Hawkeye Ignite over 10 years ago at this point. And those guys just came out and got involved, and now, like you say, I mean, some of these stages are they're tight. Like, you gotta be on your game. It's nothing super tricky, but it's not easy.
Yep.
And there's some traps. Like especially Spencer. Spencer can engineer traps into his stages for sure. That you won't see coming.
And a lot of, it's like everybody's like, I want options in the stages. And like, I don't think people really understand how hard it is to actually design a stage where there's multiple options that are all competitive. Because a lot of stages are like, oh, there's like 5 ways to shoot this stage. You're like, I mean, yeah, but one of those is like 20% better than
there's only one smart way.
Yeah, there's only one smart way to do it. But like, Open Super Squad, dude, I think we shot 3 different options on stage 5. Like the one that looked like a big vortex logo. Mm-hmm. I didn't notice that for till 5 minutes into trying to figure out the stage, and someone goes, "Oh, it's a vortex logo," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like standing right in the middle of it. So it looked like a vortex logo from the sky. It's pretty sweet. And
and Seth the man also designed stages.
Yeah,
that was Seth's stage.
Crushed that one. You crushed it, Seth. Yeah, I mean, like, several of the stages, even like little tiny stuff, like stage 8, which was like a super tight little 3. I guess if you were a real asshole, you could call it a 3-box stage, but it was actually 3 8x8 shooting areas all connected at the corners. So you had to leave one shooting area into the other, like super tight little stage, and the kind of stage that normally I'd look at and be like, eh. And then when you actually like kind of really looked at it, you're like, oh, this is actually a really interesting stage, because it wasn't like, go to this box, shoot the things, go to that box, shoot the things, go to that box, shoot the things. I think we shot it 3 different ways between the Open Super Squad, like on something that small and tight. And everyone was like, no, man, like, I'm telling you, if you go here and you do that, then you dump in this and you do your gun transition here. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think this way's the way.
And there's a lot of points and a really condensed amount of time. Like,
yes.
Like, that's like an extra step. Like, an extra footstep is costing you hit factor big time.
Oh, yeah.
On a stage like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. So, yeah, like, really, really interesting shooting challenges in a way that I don't know that I've ever seen them presented in a 3-gun match.
Yep. So and a little snow blinding, too. And, like, you get them all the different types of eligible targets together, because you have to like, all right, I'm starting with rifle. You have to think through all the rifle stuff, and while you're thinking about rifle stuff, you got to ignore handgun targets.
Yep.
And then you got to come back around and remember the handgun targets and not shoot the rifle targets. I mean, I think I heard of a few instances, and maybe both of us did this, but like, we were choreographing pistol arrays, especially, I think what was it, stage 9 or 10. So we're looking at paper coming into a porthole and completely did not even notice the white poppers standing there.
Yeah. So I had like 2 big catastrophic errors in my match. The first one was on stage 4 for anybody keeping track. That was the one with the Skinny Sammys. I shot some hosey shotgun stuff on the way into the slug targets, and my dumb ass decided to move on the 70-yard slug targets.
Hell yeah, brother.
Why? And I was like, as I'm shooting at these
goddamn champion.
two C-zone targets at 70 yards, I'm screaming to myself in my brain, like, dude, put your feet down and aim the gun. And I just didn't, and ended up not hitting one of them, because why would you when you're trying to shoot a 70-yard slug on the move like an asshole? But the other one was on stage. Yeah, I don't remember if it was it, is it 8? No, it must have been 9. I think it was stage 9. Yeah, you came into a port, you shot a bunch of rifle paper, then you came into the same port later, and then you shot a bunch of pistol paper stapled up on the same targets. So it was like rifle on the bottom, pistol on the top, except the second one, which was, so the rifle was like bottom, top, bottom, bottom, and then the pistol coming from the right to the left was top, top, bottom, top. That's how well I remember this stage. What I didn't remember was that there's 2 pistol poppers in that array in addition to those, and I never saw them. Like, straight up, when they were pointed out to me after I got done shooting, it wasn't like, oh my god, I forgot to shoot at the poppers. It was like, what poppers?
Where did those come from?
I don't. Yeah, they just like appeared after I holstered the gun, and I'm like, well, that was a cool magic trick. And then I felt like a complete ass. I'm like, what is going on? Like, God, I suck at this sport. And then John Wydell did the same thing. Didn't shoot at one of the poppers. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me. the best in the country also fuck up like this. And it was, yeah, like weird stuff that you wouldn't expect to be a problem became a problem. And it was, yeah, like super, super interesting.
Speaking of shooting on the move, like stage 12, the all pistol stage, we had Tanfo Tim go nuts, go ham on a pistol stage, which is really why he shows up to hang out with us.
65-round pistol stage.
65-round pistol stage.
Yeah.
In a 360 bay.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, actually 270 for those math nerds at home. But we're like, all right, we're going to do a massive pistol stage in here. And he's like, okay. And we're like, oh, Tim, what that means is we want them to reload 2 times. Like, oh. So put a lot in there. But on the,
I think all of us reloaded at least 3 times.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, also in the way that it was broken out, you like there was one spot where you had to do like a good 10-yard sprint.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to reload on the sprint.
Exactly.
Like, everybody's like, God, I want to stuff a mag here so bad, but the math doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And then if you do, like, all of us rolled onto this dude. It was the first time in a long time where we were walking around finding other dudes with ELS belts. Like, hey, dude, Daniel, can I borrow a mag pouch? Because I only brought 4, and that ain't enough.
I brought my Lim 10 rig. I put my pistol rig on just for that one.
Yeah.
But there was on stage right, all the way in the corner, there was a long pistol target straight out. Did you range that one? Do you remember how much it was?
I didn't range it, but it was like 30-ish yards, maybe even farther.
Yeah, because I rolled. I tried not to stop there, so I kind of did a rolling pause because you were kind of tucked in there and you had places to go and things to do. I did like a rolling like fallout shot going straight towards that one. Got all the way to the end, and I asked John Morgan, and was like, because I think I had 4 Charlies on the whole stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, do you remember? Because I knew it was a low enough Charlie count that he would remember where they were.
Yeah.
Like, what were the hits on that one? He was like, Alpha Charlie. I'm like, hell yeah. I still got it, baby.
I came in on the other ones, or I meant to finish on that one and then roll out on the tight one to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot my order.
Yeah.
So I shot the tight one to the right, and then I shot that one, and then I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was yeah. There was some real throttle control moments on that thing where you you come into the left, you hose 3 pieces of paper like directly at your knees, and then you got to shoot 2 poppers at like 35 yards.
Yeah.
And I did not execute throttle control well there. I shot the poppers at pretty much the same splits as the paper, and it went exactly how you would expect that to go.
I finally touched on the stage planning strategy for me at this match, because we do actually have some heat on the staff squad.
Yep.
So I basically just waited until Spencer had a plan. I'm like, hey,
You're like, Spence,
what's the plan?
Yep.
And he'd like show me. I'm like, okay. And then I went Dan Horner of like 90% plan executed aggressively. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
So
yeah, exactly right.
My only scored errors at this match were when I had to shoot directly after radio calls.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Curse of the match director. Hang on, guys.
Curse
I'll
the
be
match
right
director
back.
was in full effect. Yeah. I got some of them back, but not all of them.
Yep.
And match karma is a thing. So even if you get a reshoot, sometimes it still plays out about the same.
Yeah. Oh man.
And
yeah.
Did you have any equipment issues?
Zero.
I had
absolutely no gun issues whatsoever. Which I called my wife after the match and we're talking about it. And you know, like my wife's not a shooter, but she listens to me talking about shooting all the time and bitching about my old clapped out pistol mostly. And you know, she's like, how'd it go? I'm like, oh, it was awesome. I didn't have a single pistol or a single gun issue. And she goes, wow, that's new. And I'm like, ooh, that stung.
Damn, babe.
Got me right in the feels.
I watched a lot of people struggle with equipment.
Yeah.
I saw Horner have issues.
Yep.
I saw Nils. Nils had a rifle go down on him.
Lanny Barnes had one.
Lanny Barnes. Man, quite a few people. My shotgun broke an extractor on the 5th round of the first stage. So yeah. my new-ish Super Black Eagle straight up broke an extractor a few rounds in. And for those who remember, there was a famous incident here in the Nordic shotgun days where hot at the time Jake Latola had a stuck shell in his gun, or it ripped the rim off or something, and it was a short course. It was like a load one shoot one kind of thing for 8 shots, and he diagnosed it, and he famously whips out his knife and shucks it out of there, and he still ended up winning the match, but they got it all on video. He just and then got it out of there. And so once I figured out what was going on, I Latola'd my knife out and then flicked the shell out. Tried to load again. Boom! Same thing happened. And I'm fighting with it. And then I realized, oh, my extractor is gone.
Yeah.
And so...
not worn out. No longer there. It's not the same thing.
So I literally ran and threw it in the trash can. and then shot the rest of the pistol targets.
Solid. Yeah, Lanny Barnes had to do the same thing with her rifle on the very first stage you shot, which was stage 2. In last position, she ended up getting a malfunction bad enough that it required a pocket knife to fix, and I immediately just turned and walked back to my bag and put my knife in my pocket.
I might need this.
Yeah, let's hope, but you know, always a good thing to have something where you can reach into your chamber and start dragging stuff out of there. But yeah. Oh man, yeah. What other shenanigans is going on? Oh, we got me and Maxwell got to do our Dumb and Dumber impersonation. He ran me back to the car on the back of the motorcycle to go get some get something out of the car that I needed really badly, which was on the other side of the range basically. So he was ripping around on the motorcycle. I hopped onto the back and we went ripping through basically all of the squads with me doing my Rose hanging off the deck of the Titanic impersonation on the back of Maxwell's motorcycle. And who did we ride by that was
Chad Swartout.
Yeah, if we came around the corner, he saw us, he was taking a drink of a Monster or something, full spit take.
Full spit take. White Monster through the nose.
It was so good. Oh yeah. Oh, it was a good time. It was a good time, man.
And I really like the way that hit factor challenges the shooting in the match. I did not have it on my bingo card that people were gonna sweat that all rifle short course stage in 2.
Oh yeah.
As much probably the most talk of the match was stage 2, which was a 3-string. Essentially, there was essentially 3 rifle short courses.
Yep.
And all kinds of talk of tripods, bipods. Can I attach my tripod? Can I leave it behind? Blah blah blah. What power to shoot? People were like really digging in on like one of the most basic stages of the entire match.
Yep.
Which really came down to marksmanship. Yeah.
Yep.
Like our man Jerry says, stand on your hind legs and shoot it like a man.
Indeed. Yeah, especially for the open guys, like we did a lot of back and forth and like, how can I use the gear in my truck to get me out of doing this marksmanship challenge? Because I know that just doing the challenge is probably going to be slower if unless I can, just stand there and execute super well. And for those who weren't here, the meat and potatoes of it was 6 plates at a distance, and it wasn't a plate rack. It was like 6 kind of more spread apart plates. And the 3 positions that you had to shoot them off on the 3 strings were basically 70 yards, 60 yards, and 50 yards, and there were 6-inch plates. So just think about shooting a plate rack at 70 yards. That was like the challenge, and then some close paper. And then people forgot that, on something like that where there's so much other stuff going on, dragging down the time that the hit factor, or dragging up the time that the hit factor goes down, which means points are super valuable. So then people would turn and just absolutely hose the paper and shoot Charlies and Deltas and be like, well, that sure didn't help you.
Yeah, well, that was my hindsight on the thing was people totally disrespected the points on those paper targets.
Yep.
And like Spencer and I shot pretty equivalent times, or maybe I might even have shot the plates faster than him. But he got me by half a hit factor, and I think it was because I had in modified, I was zoomed up to like 2.5 power, where he was in open and he was using a scope and a red dot. And so me giving up alphas for Charlie's, just seeing brown in the scope and slapping the trigger like it owed me money, that really, I think that's what separated a lot of people disrespecting the points available on those targets. And like that's something that you wouldn't get out of a time plus match. Like you would have to do something pretty different to replicate that marksmanship challenge.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really like the way that one turned out, and I really like, I love messing with people. Like I did not think that was the one that was going to mess with people. I thought they were just going to like breeze through it. But
that thing wrecked some folks. We had one of our guys in our squad just forgot to step into the shooting area on the 2nd string. Yeah, and just shot all the plates from the X's outside the shooting area. Yeah. And then as he was stepping in to shoot the paper, he just went, shit! You could tell that he had realized what he had done. Yeah, that stage got a lot of people. What else?
We had a guy completely lose concept of strings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of like Kool-Aid Man to through the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You just shot the whole thing in one go?
They kind of like he kind of disregarded the shooting areas and whatnot, and they're like, and like he's like going to shoot the next, and then like stop. Okay, reset. Like, oh wait, what? And then started on another second start marks. Didn't step in. Like just a guy who's been shooting a long time, shooting 3-gun a long time. He was having a senior moment on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, that was good. Yeah, let's see. So
we balanced the points this year on the long range. Last year, I kind of threw a hissy fit and made the long range worth a lot of points.
Yeah, I wish you made the long range worth more, because that was my best stage by a lot.
Everything kind of balanced out. Big courses were like 300 to 350 points, and then the medium courses were 150, 180 points.
Mm-hmm.
And so the long range stage was worth the same amount of points as the all pistol stage, was worth the same amount of points as the Vortex logo stage with all those shooting areas.
Yep.
Which that was fun.
I thought the balance is really good, and that's always one of my like really big complaints about any time plus matches, especially if they're not doing like the UML thing, and every stage is basically worth 100 points, is that if, like any mistake that you make in some super short course is worth 5 times as much as the same mistake made on a long course. And I don't like that. I really don't, especially since I shoot long courses better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that, having this thing be hit factor allows all of that to balance out. So, you don't have a bobbled reload on, a 15-second stage, and it costs you as many points as, 14 makeup shots on a long range. So,
it makes it
nice.
a little bit more about marksmanship again, too.
Yep.
And I mean, if you can't run and sprint like John and Varick can, like, they're gonna leave you behind. Like that,
you're just done.
That is gonna fundamentally change the way our game is shot. So I think we can reintroduce some of these more nuanced challenges to the sport, because I think it should be a test of all three of the full spectrum of all three of the guns.
Yep.
That's something that's core to USPSA as a sport, and because this is their national championship, like, we really try to balance everything out. So we try to test everything and balance it out across all of the guns, because it's supposed to be a well-rounded sport, where it's not supposed to be a gas gun match with other stuff too. So I think we do that pretty well here, and I hope that spreads to other places as well.
Yeah, it went very, very well. I'm just thinking through my stages right now. We shot kind of a weird order because of the way the schedule worked. So we had a long range rifle stage was stage 1. The 3-string was stage 2. There was a small beta bay, like interesting, like super tight little, not super tight, but like about a 10 or 12 foot wide shooting area with a bunch of shotgun shooting. And one of those things where it's like, if you like nailed all your marks, you could just flow through the entire thing on one mag. Double the clay swinger. Really interesting. So Targets USA makes this. First of all,
shout out to Targets USA. He flew down from Alaska to help us set up.
Yeah,
and he left on Friday.
Yeah, Jason's the man, and he makes these clay holders that are really cool. I'm sure anybody listening to this show has rubber banded some clays to a swinger before and been like, man, there's got to be a better way to do this. There is, and Jason does it with his clay holders. They're freaking amazing. They never fail. They're awesome. And then he has a gear style opposite direction clay swinger. So it's one target that swings clays in opposite directions, and if you time it perfectly and you have just a wide enough choke, you can get them both as they pass each other in opposite directions, which I did. Not on purpose, but I did, and I felt like a G.
Nice.
But it was like nice, like, a couple walls, a shooting area, a stomp pad, and or not a stomp pad, activator, and a clay swinger, and like one of those really cool stages where it's like, if you nailed your pace just right, you nailed your footwork just right, you could just flow through the entire thing and just be shooting the entire time and dump the shotgun and leave. And if you like missed one of them, it got real choppy real fast. And it was, just a fun little shotgun shooting challenge. Very different from the stand here and hose, 30 pieces of steel stuff that we do at some of the matches. So I liked this kind of stuff quite a bit more. Let's see. Then we shot stage 8, which was the little 3 box to box to box thing. Oh, so my squad, I'm just going to say that the Open Super Squad was the best squad of the match.
Oh, wow.
Because the amount of shit talk on that squad was like just completely turned up to 11, which you guys know me. I'm about that. Like, my love language is unrelenting, constant shit talk. I love it. And so I, on stage 8, ran to the left, shot the 2 shotgun clays, ran to the right, shot at the 2 shotgun knockovers as I was falling out of position, and I missed the second one, and I had to do the like 2 steps back, put one foot in the shooting area, lift the other foot off the ground so I didn't get a foot fault, shoot that thing, and then leave. And afterwards, Farewell's giving me just a ton of shit about it. He's like, oh man, you should pause on those, that was too aggressive, and like, what were you thinking? And I'm like, yeah, I know, it happens. Three shooters later, Joe steps up and does exactly the same thing. So he's not even like the millisecond his gun goes back into the holster, just unrelenting shit from the peanut gallery. Like, God damn it, karma's a bitch. There was no 5-minute rule on our squad. There wasn't even a 5-second rule. It was like, they weren't gonna say anything while you're shooting, but the millisecond you were done shooting, it was gonna start. And I was about it. It was really good. And then let's see. Then we came across, and we shot the I'm blanking on it. What's the shotgun manufacturer that had the full auto?
Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis had a full auto 12 gauge, which was exactly as much fun as it sounds. I was a little offended that I could feel the hand of the Genesis rep touching the back of my shoulder when I squared up on that thing, just assuming that it was going to run me over and I was just going to throw rounds over the berm.
I think he just wanted to feel your shoulders, man.
Maybe that was probably it. I would have taken a shoulder massage at that point in time. But that thing was super fun. And then Briley had a booth set up next to there where they had all of their wares. And new announcement for the show.
New announcement
on the Perf Podcast, brought to you by Briley Manufacturing.
Hey!
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Just finish it up here. They reached out to us a little while ago and were like, hey, we dig what you guys are doing and we'd like to support it. We'd like to keep this going. And we are super stoked because Briley is one of those companies that we talk about that pour a lot of support into this sport. Not only do they come out to matches, they set up a booth, they put stuff on the prize table, they also make really awesome, super nice, very esoteric gear that basically doesn't have a market outside of this sport, and if they weren't making it, nobody would. So I'm talking like their extended magazine tubes that they make. We're going to go super deep into some Briley shit here at some point because I have been out of tube gun world for a minute and have been unaware of the advances in that world. And damn, I thought I was shooting some nice stuff and I was mistaken.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
In a gap in my schedule. I've been meaning to for a while because they've kind of spearheaded a lot of the innovation on modified shotguns.
Yep.
Since that's been introduced to the U.S. market, and so they have the ultimate, the best you can buy.
Yeah.
Is a Benelli M2 or Beretta, but basically an M2. You get the slug version. They mill out the rifling because they want the thicker, heavier barrel so they can thread the outside and they can put a compensator on the end of it, like a legit...
Like, picture Dissident KL12 compensator.
It's basically a KL12 compensator on the end of it with a stendo tube. So, like, when you don't have a bunch of shells in it, it's still really short and compact, but...
And way easier to load.
Yeah, way easier to load.
All that spring tension.
Triggers, backboard, the barrels...
And then they run the same internal chokes that the KL12 does that tuck in underneath that compensator.
Yeah. This gun is every bit of $5,000 to $6,000.
Yeah.
To do new. And so I walked up to the table. I've been meaning to shoot one for like, I don't know, probably a year. So I asked Robbie, I was like, all right, which one of these guns is the one that's going to change my life? And he hands it to me. And I had my Super Black Eagle there too, which has a bunch of Briley work done to it already. And not a basic bit shotgun by any stretch. So I shot mine first with a ported barrel and ported choke. Ripped some, and then I ripped that one. I'm like, oh,
not even the same sport.
kind of like the first time you shoot a KL12, like a Dissident Vepr. Yeah. Like, it's not like people think like it's just gonna float there like an AR and not move. Like, no, it's
still a 12 gauge shotgun.
It's still a 12 gauge shotgun. There's still a lot of metal moving back and forth, but like smooth.
Yeah.
It was. I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like Briley, like Reiser's saying, the support that Briley breathes into the sport is really, it's what I want to see more of. You know, like they roll up here with their trailer. They sit. There's two guys that sit the whole time. Claudio and Robbie. They're there most of the time. They're pretty much just talking to themselves. But if you have an issue, you know, with a shotgun or certainly a Briley product, you roll up there. They have parts, they have tools, they have everything. Like anybody that's having a shotgun issue, and shotguns just by their nature of us trying to make them do things they're not really intended to do, it happens. So they're out there, you know, supporting their stuff, kind of like, you know, we draw a lot of inspiration from racing, from motorsports. Like that's the amateur support system, you know, from Kawasaki and Yamaha and KTM in the motorcycle sport. They roll up and they have parts. They have on-site support. That's super cool. Like my broken shotgun. I broke my primary gun. I was on my backup gun. I remembered why it's my backup gun. So I was fighting that one too. Because this is my 13-year-old M2.
Oh, dude, just barely getting the Cosmo off.
And so like I'm having the opposite issue that I have with my SBE. The shells wouldn't get released out of the magazine. They wouldn't come past the shell catch. So I would get a shot and nothing would come, where you have to like butt stroke it to get it to come out. And when they finally got here, because they're not right here right away for the staff shoot. So when they were here, I'm bringing it over. I'm like, Robbie, do you have any ideas what I could do? And he's like, well, I know what I would do. I would take the bolt out of that one and I would put it in that one. So I went through my primary, my backup, and then we cannibalized them together to kind of make something that sort of worked.
It's like, oh god, what was that movie where the Lawnmower Man? Have you ever seen Lawnmower Man?
No.
Anyways, guy works at the shop and the guy comes in. He's like, you know, he's got a lawnmower that he needs working. He's like, yeah, this thing won't start. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, I don't know what's going on. And the owner's talking to the guy, and this guy comes walking in from the background, unscrews the gas cap. He's like, it's out of gas, and then just walks off. He's like, that's why I like him. He always thinks about the simplest thing first. Heck yeah. Let's see. So what was after that? So then, I'm trying to remember what 9 was.
Nine's the zigzaggy one where you guys were. No, that was 10.
Oh, 9's the one where I forgot to shoot at the steel popper.
Yep.
So
at the steel wait, yeah, because everyone was debating there whether they were gonna shoot one target and reholster, or if
what
they
do
were
you
run
think?
all
Do you
way
think the
back.
hot holster was the move?
I don't think so, but I watched all the Super Squad guys do it.
Yeah, so we all did it, and I bet half of the Super Squad, because you're dumping. So the USPSA rule is you cannot leave 2 long guns in the same barrel. But you can do some other stuff while they're both in there. You just can't walk away. So you can't leave it by a yard. So there was a spot where you could dump your shotgun. You could not pick up your rifle yet. You could draw your pistol, shoot one target, and put your pistol back away. And that saved you like 7 or 8 steps coming back to shoot that thing afterwards. And it was like kind of an awkward rear movement around a wall. Like it wasn't an insignificant amount of time to get back there. And I bet at least half of my squad, including myself, dumped the shotgun, got the rifle halfway out of the barrel, and then remembered, oh yeah, dropped the rifle back in the barrel, drew the pistol, shot the target, put the pistol away, and then took the rifle back out of the barrel.
Like, we were thinking about it too on staff shoot day, and I just figured it always seems faster in your head, be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to draw my pistol out real quick and shoot that and put it back in my holster instead of running over here. But like, when you think about like the order of operations, dump into the barrel, draw the pistol, shoot that target, get it back into your holster without shooting your leg. Drawing out again, like we talk about flat-footed reloads all the time.
You
That
mean-
is the most flat-footed reload
a
ever.
flat-footed double gun transition.
Yeah. And so that's where I was like, I opted for nope. I'm gonna shuffle step back. I mean, it was, I don't know, 6 steps maybe
like that,
around a wall. I was like, no, that feels like a trap to me. I'm just gonna run back and shoot it like a man.
Yep.
But
I was talking to Nils after the match, and we were talking about that, and I was like, "Did you do the gun transition?" Or I was like, "Do you think the gun transition was faster or the moving back?" And he's like, I think the moving back was probably the way to go. I'm like, "Is that what you did?" He goes, "No, I did the gun transition." I'm like, "Well, why'd you do the gun transition? You thought it was slower?" He goes, "Because it looked way cooler." like that's why I love you, Nils. There was another stage with a tight little. Oh no, yeah, stage 8, 7. I got all my stages mixed up. 4, 5. Stage 7 was a 3-box. Stage 8 also had a double gun transition or a hot holster option where you could shoot 3 pieces of paper from the start, holster up, and then leave. And we went back and forth, and I think we proved that the hot holster and the not hot holster plans were basically identical. So I think it was just really like, whichever one played to your strength. So like Varric was like, hey, I can transition faster than I can run. Like, dope. Josh is like, I can run faster than I can transition. So he shot it the other way. And Josh was the only guy who shot pistol first, then shotgun. Because for whatever reason, Josh Froelich can move backwards with the shotgun. Probably because he's like 2 of me, but he can move backwards with a shotgun as well as I can move backwards with a pistol.
I'm convinced he's a groomed Sasquatch. And he just came in from the wild.
He definitely is. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And then what else we have? We had so we had 8. We had 9. We talked about 10 was some really hard rifle shooting. Like you needed to respect the targets on 10.
Yeah,
the hit factor was super low. And if you just stood back there and hosed at stuff, I mean, those were like 35-ish yard partial IPSC scored hit factor.
Yep, with no shoots.
Deltas really hurt with no shoots. I got
a swinger.
I got a top Delta perf on the left no shoot target, and I got a bottom barely off the perf no shoot target hit, but didn't hit the perf on the bottom right one. Like I used all of the available scoring area on that target. I was like, yes, they're both still on there. I left that position being like, that might have been real bad. And I did shoot the shotgun no shoot. My only shotgun no shoot in the whole match. Lasted until my last stage.
Got him.
Gosh darn it. Yep. And then there was the all pistol stage, Timmy's big 65 round beast of a pistol stage, which I shot terribly because I woke up Friday morning with a migraine and was just trying to physically survive the day. And then stage 12 was another like ton of options, really interesting, like rifle, then shotgun, then pistol. If you nailed it all, it was super flowy, and if you missed a spot, it got super choppy. And the funny thing about shotguns is people tend to shoot more aggressively at point blank shotgun stuff than they do at long shotgun stuff. So
which is ironic because the pattern is bigger on long shotgun.
Yes.
Stuff.
The truth is that long shotgun stuff is drastically easier than the short shotgun stuff because there was a sharp right turn and probably like a 2 yard away clay. And I bet your pattern is still smaller than the center ring of the clay at that distance. Like I've never patterned my shotgun at 2 yards. But I bet it's pretty tight because it's about the size of a fist at 10 yards, regardless of what choke I shoot. So you got to aim at that thing. And a lot of people didn't aim enough that clay.
Yeah, they're big and they're orange. The temptation is to run up on them.
Yep.
But man, anytime I can snipe a clay from the back,
dude, stay as far away as you can.
And I'm disrespecting that sight picture like a rude child.
Just no love at all to that sight picture. Like if the dot is remotely in the vicinity of the clay,
wash a shot, and maybe there will be a pellet in it.
We're letting her rip. Yeah, we're just gonna get through.
On on stage 6, the jungle.
Yep.
With the clays.
Oh, jungle run.
With the clays right in the beginning. When we when we stepped up to that for the staff shoot, this is part of the reason that jungle runs aren't fair. That thing was a jungle, baby.
So you weren't shooting the second clay from the first clay like the
absolutely
rest of us
not.
did. Yeah.
And
by the time we got there, there was a position eliminating amount of pellets had gone through the woods.
Yeah.
To expose the second clay from the first.
So
spot.
we get there. We started on 4 and 5 on the staff shoot day. So we are all drowned rats.
You guys started on 50-yard offhand skinny sands?
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the afternoon by the time we get there. That's our third stage.
Nice.
And Timmy calls bullshit on how overgrown where the clays are. He's like, "Are we gonna clear this out a little bit? Are we gonna get a weed whacker or whatnot?" And
I feel like what you should do is just stand where you know everyone's gonna shoot him from, and just run like a MAGA shotgun into the woods.
Well. So what had happened was, at first we're all really wet and kind of annoyed at this point. We still have a bunch of stages to go, so we're like, are we really gonna cut that down? You know, it wasn't just Timmy; it was a bunch of people. And I'm like, all right. I grabbed my shotgun with a full tube. I got down on my knees and I just went like straight John Rambo, just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, dude.
All 3 of those, I just mowed them down 6 inches off the ground.
That's awesome.
It was great. It was
That's
straight
like
off the History Channel.
You just gotta take the first like 20 shooters worth of shotgun, and put them into each target, and that's actually like kind of a good move to like bring a little more competitive equity to jungle runs.
And it is amazing how much foliage a shotgun can cut. Like,
yeah,
because like several years ago now, using a different part of the property that probably nobody listening remembers, where there was a jungle run on a different part of this, and it was like that, you know, and there was a little bit less respect given to cutting stuff back. So it was kind of like, tough, deal with it on the staff shoot day. And then that was my stage for the whole weekend. Mm-hmm. And this is a jungle run that, I mean, it was like 40 rounds, and it covered 70 to 100 yards of movement. And so I'm following people through there, and especially a lot of, you know, the top guys, they have a plan. They're specifically, like, the whole thing is choreographed. Johnny paid full price mid-packer. They're hunting and pecking through there. So anytime they would see just like a glint of orange, they would boom through
so they
the.
were not shooting from the places they were deciding.
Yeah, no, they were drastically cutting new holes in the woods, and so you know, the time, and that particular year, the Super Squad was the last squad to come through.
Oh man!
So like the Michigan Mafia guys, they were on the first squad, but then Tarrant and Ruben and Dylan and Jake Latola at the time, all the hot guys were on the last stage of the last day, and I'm sitting there like, you know, I'm trying to beat these guys, and I'm like, the stage they're shooting right now is not even remotely close to the stage that I shot 4 days ago. But that was
awesome.
What did you think? How about them skinny Sammies on number 4?
So I've been going back and forth with offhand rifle shooting. Like, when I say offhand rifle shooting, I mean like 50 plus yards on small things.
Unsupported for you law enforcement
unsupported, guys. Just standing there. And as my eyes have changed, it's actually really changed my strategy for it in terms of magnification. Mm-hmm. So about once a year, I'll go out and I'll set up a 50-yard plate rack at Slipsa, and I'll shoot like 5 or 10 strings on 3 power, 5 or 10 strings on 2 power, and 5 or 10 strings on 1 power, and like write down all the times and see, you know. It used to be that 3 power was by far the best for me.
Oh, really?
And now 1 power. Like, I just leave it on 1 and go. And but it is better for me on that stuff to shoot my primary, where it's better for me inside of about 30 yards to shoot my red dot. Just that's where my eyes are at. Like, I've done a bunch of experimentation at this point in time. That is where my eyes are. So I shot him on 1 power, and I shot him real aggressive. like I was trying to channel my my inner Varric Bicey, and so I just went bang 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 hit bang bang hit and moved, and then shot pretty poorly with a shotgun. And did the same thing in that position. Lanny busted out the kneeling bipod.
Yeah, and kneeling bipod's back.
1 for 1, crushed it. Yeah, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I'm so bummed because I put in all this kneeling bipod work for Rifle Worlds, then we got there, and she's like, I used it once. It was like I put in like months of time on that thing, and so she's like, now it's a skill set I have. So she busted it out and just made us all look like fools. We did for a split second contemplate going prone, but we're like, that's down to prone plus up twice
in the sand.
That wouldn't have been fun. So yeah, all of us just stood there and shot him super aggressive. The Yackleys were doing a bunch of math trying to figure out if it was better just to take one shot at each and leave them. And I think the math turned out, Tanfo did the math and decided that if you missed all 4 but shot at them, it was an extra 5 seconds, I think he said it was.
Yeah.
And I think the way that I shot it was almost a wash. I think this is one spot where this is one thing that I don't like about hit factor is that depending on how it works out, it is possible to design something that is a trap to even shoot at or to take like a legitimate effort to shoot at. And this was one of those spots where I think if you're good enough, for sure you just need to shoot them all. But there is a spot somewhere in the mid pack where I think it makes more sense to take like 1 or 2 real shots at each one and then just leave it. Like if that shot is just so far out of your skill set that you're like, nope, ain't happening, then there is a spot somewhere down the order where it makes more sense to just leave it, which I don't know. I'm that's fine. It's just kind of is the way it is. But it is a bummer when you can like math your way out of stuff where, you know, I know that happened. Was it last year, a couple years ago on some flying clays or something where, same sort of thing happened where it's like, oh, the math works out that it's like not even worth it to shoot out. I need to get with like Nils or somebody who's super good at hit factor math and learn that game a little bit more, because
that's what I was trying to, because I was genuinely curious about that. Like, is it really, like, is that a viable strategy?
Yep.
And quick reference to the Yakley scores, I don't think they tried that, or if they did, they got lucky on a couple of their pot shots.
Gotcha.
But I thought that was an interesting dynamic. When they put those things out there and I first looked at, I didn't think nothing of those things. Like, oh yeah, no problem, bank, you know. And of course, it didn't go that way. And then, like, on our squad, I saw like an expected amount of struggling on those. Like, you know, I mean, it was pow, 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 hit, pow, 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 hit, you know, and or, you know, maybe a, you know, pow, pow hit or a pow hit, you know, but then they like missed a bunch of other ones. When I watched the Super Squad guys do it, I'm figuring Horner and AJ and Taylor, and I figured, you know, all those guys on your squad too. I figured they're gonna go up there, bank, you know, and like roll out, but like,
nope,
no.
The mod Super Squad and the Open Super Squad both shot a lot at them. There were 2 stages in this match with enough hard offhand rifle shooting where I make a bunch of notes during walkthrough day, and I make a note of like, you know, oh, I need a 30 round mag for this, I need a 35 round mag for this, shoot the big stick on the pistol, whatever it is. And on none of them did I have a 45 round rifle mag. And there was a couple stages where when we rolled up on the day, I looked at the stage again, like for real, not just like coming up with the plan. And I was like, we're just going to shoot a 45 so we don't run out of ammo.
Like, 45 and stay alive.
just to make sure. Like, there's no reason not to. There's no disadvantage. Just fill it up and go for it. Like, why would you not? Yeah, so that one was really interesting.
You'd be proud of my long-range shooting.
What's that?
You'd be proud of my long-range shooting at this match. I pretty much went 1 for 1 with a 12.5-inch SBR.
Attaboy.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I was stoked on that.
Yep. Yeah, some people disrespected that stuff too. Couple people in the Open Super Squad got on the struggle bus on the long range.
There's a lot of people who say there's not enough long range here, and like they poo-poo what is here, and then somehow they still get schooled over there. I don't know. Like there's not even any wind over there.
Yeah.
Like it's basically a tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah. You just shoot your hold and call it a day. But yeah, so on to results here, because this is a national championship. We ought to run down who did what. And shout out who crushed. So
the only people who signed up for heavy were on staff, and really they just wanted the staff emails. I think 7 people signed up for limited, and some were talked off that ledge, so it shrunk to like 5. And then at registration, Travis was basically telling them, we're putting you in TAC so you walk the prize table at all. I'm not making a 5-person prize table for limited.
Yeah.
And then I think we had about 20 in TAC Optics. So TAC Optics kind of heading toward assisted living.
I got it right here. So we got 44 in mod. We got 54 in open. Holy hell! Plus a bunch of DQs or some no-shows.
Mostly staff DQs. Yeah, I had no-shows.
No, 2 DQs, a bunch of deleteds. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So these are like people who got moved squads and stuff like that. Okay, I just had a little panic attack at the bottom of the page. I was like, what happened to open? Jesus.
Yeah.
And there were 19 people in TAC. So yeah, I think much to our conversation about modified taking over TAC, even though everybody thought that TAC was going to live long and prosper, that ain't happening.
Yeah, that didn't age well.
No, did not age well, not at all. So, hi lady, Lanny Barnes, former Olympian, new resident of Colorado.
She's back,
and I heard a rumor from Lanny that she is thinking about putting on a ski/snowshoe multi-gun match in Colorado in the winter. And I don't know exactly what this would entail.
Shut up and take my money.
She came and she's like, does that sound like something you'd do? I'm like, yeah. I am for sure in. This sounds so awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna have to learn how to ski or something. I don't know what the ski portion is. I only have AT gear. But yeah, that sounds ridiculous, and I'm here for it. Hi, junior shooter. Hawkins Nyholm.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Yep.
Awesome. Nailed it. Hi, senior shooter. Now, this man was quite upset because he has been talked about on several podcasts, never by name. It's always my buddy or that guy I stayed with, or in my case, on this match, the dude who drove my ammo out and drove all my gear back. Hi, old guy. Hi, senior shooter. Randy Stevens. Hell yeah, brother.
Woo!
Crushing, folks. Your TAC shooters. Keeping it alive. Nate Staskowitz, top of the box. Crushing folks like he does. Nils Jonasson got the second step. Evan Nichols came in third. Oh, by the way, remember how we talked? How I think that
Nils Jonason's champagne bottle worked about as well as his rifle did.
Yeah, there were some failures to fire on the champagne bottles. Yes, there was a podium. Yes, there was champagne. Yes, it all got drank.
Yes, it did.
Mostly by my co-host.
Yeah, most of it wasn't sprayed.
We were going to record last night, and we decided that we would both lose our jobs and sponsorships if we did. So, so we did not. But one of the champagne bottles that did not go off, our buddy Travis was like, "I'm gonna fix this." So he pulls out some sort of striking object, do the old hit the bottom of the cork with the knife thing. And the bottle just grenaded in his hands. Like, full side explosion.
Yeah, the only part that didn't explode was the part in his hands.
It was the part in his hands, thank God, yeah.
Which is funny because 2 years ago when I started doing this, I wanted to spray one so bad that I was like, screw you, I didn't win, but I'm going to spray one anyway. And Travis was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, my show, I'll do what I want. And I was trying to do it like F1. Where they bump it on the ground and it pops. Mm-hmm. But I had one of those. It was the same cork. It was one of those corks, and it was not coming. I'm like, I must have done it wrong. Pop. gosh, we must have to really hit these things. Boom! And it exploded in my hand, and it sliced my right thumb wide open. This was still when my leg was broken, so I was not weight bearing yet, on crutches. And I'm standing there with my thumb split wide open. And then, like, of course, everybody runs up with their IFAC that they've been carrying for 5 years.
Yeah, you just
and they're looking at it like, ooh.
Were people trying to tourniquet you?
Oh, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I'm going to the hospital to get some stitches. They're like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. You should do that. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm going. Like, yep. You definitely want to go in. Like, no, I'm going right now. I'm like, you go get your truck.
Drive me,
drive me there. But I'm like stuck on an island because I have crutches and I'm surrounded by people, so I couldn't move. But ever since then, every time they come out, they give me shit about, like, oh, don't cut your hand open, whatever. And so Travis whips out his knife and he starts trying to swing that thing off the top, and the whole bottle explodes on him.
Jesus.
I was like, oh. It's dinner and a show. That's what we're about here at Multigun Nationals.
That's right. Modified. Top spot in modified and overall. AJ Anthony beat the entire field shooting a tube gun.
Mad respect.
What a savage, dude. What a savage.
Respect.
Dude, crushing it. Taylor Olhausen bringing up the second step. And our boy, Daniel Horner, getting a little gray in his hair. I noticed that today.
A little bit.
Yep, we're both in our mid 40s now. Getting old sucks, buddy. I feel ya.
Getting a little dad bod.
Daniel Horner, third place, rounding out the podium. And an open division. We're gonna go to 5. I'll tell you why in a second. Top step, not stop. Top step. Words are good. I'm good
Stops
with words.
at the top.
It's the stop at the top. Varric Bizey. As we already talked about, taking down John Wydell, who I believe was 99.2%, just barely missed it. I am loving watching this race. It reminds me of the Josh Froelich, Scott Green days, watching those two trade wins back and forth.
Yeah.
I love that it's not just a foregone conclusion who's going to win when you show up at a match.
Yep.
It's awesome to have deep heat at the top, man. I am about it. I'm here for it. Joe Farewell taking home third spot. Super stoked for my boy.
Dry Fire Crew, also sponsor of the match.
There
were some Dry Fire Crew certs out there.
Yep. And a new rock climbing fanatic. Very much not. Josh Froelich, former Shotgun World Champion, taking home 4th place. And in 5th place, me. I'm very excited. I got 1st place Mortal. I'm pretty stoked. I finally put together a whole match of not having some catastrophic. Amax came up to me at the beginning of day 1 and he's like, hey, here's the deal, buddy. One of us has to do good here, because if we keep doing shows where both of us shit the bed in every single match, people are going to stop listening, because what do these guys know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I did it. I didn't make the box, but I made 5th place in a extremely deep open field, which I'm very, very happy about.
I mean, I'm not super pissed. I ended up 15th, and I'm not super pissed about it. I mean, I obviously want to do better, but I also fully understand I have Curse of the Match director. But with 2, I'll call it 3 scored errors, like I was, I dropped from 12th to 15th, and so, but like the gap that Taylor and AJ put on the rest of the field, like, yeah, that dropped me down into the 70-80 percentile.
Yeah.
However, I am getting massive pressure from my staff that they want me to shoot on a squad next year. So, like some match directors do, the job of the match director really is supposed to be done by the time that the match actually starts. And so, we've grown people into positions now where kind of the running of the match is delegated to a lot of people once it actually starts. So I think I'm gonna try it at Kirkwall to see how it goes, but like I might be hanging up the scorekeeper boots, or hang up the tablet, should we say, and then shoot on a regular squad, and we'll see what that does for the Curse of the Match director. I still feel like I'm gonna get approached and called and whatnot. Like, it's still gonna be there, but
there's still gonna be some things.
But man, shooting with a squad on the schedule and not ramrodding, 6 stages down your throat in 2 days. I'm hoping that does a little better for my score.
Yeah.
So excited to try that for next year.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. 2025 Multigun Nationals in the bag. Awesome match. Please come out next year. God, it was good. If you weren't here, you missed it. What's up?
So,
What's up?
Anything we tried the first couple of years that I really wanted to do. The format for the last couple of years, we've done kind of 8 big stages the first 2 days, and then we kind of did a culminating speed shoot thing on the last day. Mm-hmm. The idea kind of being like, how do we flow smaller stages with bigger stages, and how do we get out of here at a decent time on Sunday, and then also wanting to maybe explore what a classification system would look like for a multi-gun. There are a bunch of reasons why we tried that. But ultimately, the concept was interesting, but it didn't really work. Mm-hmm. So we went away from it this year, and we did more of an IPSC 3-2-1 format, where there were big courses mixed with little courses in a zone. So we kind of went away from that experiment. But the way that registrations worked out this year, we basically had a morning schedule of 3 squads and an afternoon schedule of 4 squads. And we basically ended up shooting the same zones intermingled at kind of the same times. So it was great from an admin standpoint, because if you needed the range master, he was there because those were the only stages shooting. And then also from a shooter standpoint,
keep track of scores.
Yeah, everybody was kind of tracking in a similar direction. So the concept that we were kind of trying to force to happen with that older Sunday schedule, or the previous Sunday schedule, actually happened here on accident and better than it did initially. But like, it came right down to the wire. I mean, John and Varick were on 2 different squads shooting right next to each other in different bays, and like, people standing on the sidelines literally watched the match go down to the last shots fired of the last stage of the last day.
That's awesome.
So I was really stoked how that worked out too. And in the background, we had the match starting to be disassembled before we were even done shooting, because we were completely out of zones 1 and 2. So we actually had teardown crews over there putting the match away. So by the time it was all said and done on Sunday, it was all tucked away. But I was really stoked how that schedule, even though on the matrix it looked weird, but like, score wise and competitor wise, they progressed through the match the same way, and it culminated in a photo finish the way we were trying to create before, even though we didn't have to force a format change.
I also think it does a lot for competitive equity as well, because you end up shooting the same stages in the same weather condition. Now, we had like pretty good weather through the whole thing. Like, a tiny little bit of drizzle at the beginning of day 2 was like basically it. But if you do have a downpour, some stages are better to shoot in a downpour than others. Mm-hmm. Some stages are better shooting wind than others. Mm-hmm. Some stages are better to shoot at first light than others. So if you have everybody in the same area shooting at roughly the same time, it really does a lot to button up competitive equity. And I'm all about that.
What'd you pull off the prize table?
Oh, I got myself a nice ADM rifle.
You got the ADM rifle?
I got the ADM rifle.
Nice.
Yeah, there was some pretty sweet stuff there. It was the prize table was nice. There was a IWI Galil, but it was in 5.45, and I was asking everybody, I'm like, can you rebarrel a Galil in 5.56? And and Travis is there. He's like, not without a 20-ton press, you can't. I'm like, okay. Well, I don't have any 5.45, and apparently you can't buy it. But somebody somewhere has a whole barn full of it, and they are stoked. But yeah, so I pulled that ADM rifle, and it that's a good one.
I was on the tail end of people who got to walk prize table in mod, and one of the other things I'm trying to build into this match, I'm trying to normalize and establish a cash purse. So we take $20 from everybody's entry in whatever division that you enter. That goes into the pot for a cash purse. And fortunately, unfortunately, so there are cash purses, but ultimately Travis does such a good job on the prize table that the cash usually goes pretty deep into the field. So I pulled.
I think both bundles. I think there was an $800 pile of cash and a $400 pile of cash still on the table when I was walking out of the building.
Yeah, and
like
there
that's
was
how good the prize table was.
Yeah, I think there was a 500 and a 300 on ours, and the 300 was still left. And the person in front of me was looking at a pile of ammo, like it was a flat of shotgun shells, a case of Federal Gold Medal 5.56, and a case of 9mm, and like 50 slugs, 50 Remington slugs.
Nice.
And he's like between the cash and the ammo and the cash and the ammo and and everyone, we're like, dude, that ammo is worth way more than that $300.
Yeah. 100%.
So he grabbed the ammo, I grabbed the cash.
Nice.
And then
I also grabbed or my grab bag. You go in, I don't know how the grab bags were picked, some sort of random thing. I'm sure Maxwell knows. And,
I don't. That's a Travis thing.
Okay, yeah. So whatever it was, you just you got a random grab bag, and they brought out my grab bag, and there was a case of birdshot in my grab bag, and I was like, thank God Randy's driving back with my ammo, because otherwise I'd just have to give this to somebody because I sure can't fly. I was like, hell yeah.
And we found an abandoned bag in the prize table area.
Oh yeah.
And so after the piracy had started, whose grab bag is this? Nobody. All right, well, what's in it? We started looking. I scored a Timmy trigger out of there too, because
nice.
I decided that the rifle I shot this match with, the SSAE, it's a pretty good duty trigger, but like I'm trying to make that gun into my PCSL gun. So you're gonna have to rock them splits.
Wait! I thought you were gonna shoot the AK in PCSL. You going back to the AR?
I think so.
Yeah.
That game got really fast. Really fast.
Yeah. And there's some reloads in it. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that.
So like I thought.
AK versus AR reloads is the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my Dissident AK reloads are pretty good. But like the recoil impulse is not the same.
No,
it's not the
same gun. Yeah.
And like you watch that Hunter Constantine video on the PCC World Shoot, like watching those guys shoot, and they talked a little bit about it in there. Like they are basically straight up double tapping and getting alphas. Like it's not
at like 30 yards.
Yeah. So it's like, and so I was like cross-referencing that with what we saw last year at PCSL National. I'm like, yeah, in that game, like you pretty much have to have no recoil and a fast split and hope they land.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to set a gun up for that.
Yeah. Now when you're tuning your rifle, I was talking with the JP boys, the new JP break, sort of similar concept to the Signature Series break, except isn't going to cost $400 like the Signature Series one.
Because that's outrageous.
Because that's outrageous. The new one is $200, which is a super reasonable amount of money for a really nice break. Anyway, so I have one on the way. I'm very curious to check it out. I was told that it has less dot movement than the Signature Series, which I'm going to be honest, I find really hard to believe, because I don't see any way to cut any movement out of the Signature Series break. But we're now at a spot where if you can just stand there with your rifle at 30 yards and pull the trigger and your dot leaves the A zone, ain't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has to stay in the A zone at 30 yards. It's just, that's the way it is now. So, things that used to be nice, like a really nice break, captured springs, lightweight bull carrier groups. Like if you want to play at the top, that is now mandatory.
Yeah.
Like that. If you can't just shoot a 14 split at 30 yards and land 2 alphas, like, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Like I'm totally here for it, but yeah, PCSL, that that has become a very fast, agile game.
Yeah.
And the guns in that, like, it kind of started like, oh, use your tactical gear, and there's people still showing up with those guns. If you show up with a gun with a scope and an offset red dot and your laser and a suppressor and dude, like,
well, if you're
not
shooting,
winning.
if you're shooting TAC division, I mean, what's the go-to break for it's not called TAC. Gosh darn it, what's it called? Practical. What's the go-to break for practical? That's not a break.
The one they wrote a rule about me for.
Yeah.
That's the Knight's Armor MAM's device.
Yeah, so that's as high class as you can go there. But yeah, once you switch to competition division, there's only a couple options, and
yeah, it's
you
pretty much JP and unrivaled.
It's
pretty much
like,
the list.
That is the list. That's the entire list. Yep, for sure. Well, I gotta say, I am not only impressed with my co-host's ability to put a match in the ground with a lot of help, but I'm also impressed in his ability to drink all the leftover champagne and still be not hungover too much to podcast the next morning. It's a good job, buddy.
You
did it.
It's my favorite part of the whole thing, when it's all not like, ugh, it's done. It's just kind of, it's, I don't know, it's kind of a euphoric. I get a little sentimental also at the end of the match. But it's just, that shitty champagne tastes pretty good at the end of it all.
Hell yeah.
And we talk amongst ourselves, kind of in the wrap up, putting it all away, and we're very excited for next year. We have 2 more years on our contract. So Forest Lake will host Multigun Nationals for at least 2 more years.
But by the way, super convenient place to travel to.
Oh my god.
The airport's like 40 minutes away.
We're a mile off the interstate.
The grocery store, like, if a round left the range in the wrong direction, it would land in the Cub Foods parking lot. I woke up on Sunday with just like a ripping migraine, didn't have anything for it, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to like drive to the grocery store, and like left the camper here at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was like a 4-minute drive to the grocery store. Like, what other major match do you shoot at where you can drive 4 minutes and go get whatever you need?
Yeah.
Like, that's
10 minutes to a Chipotle.
I know it seems like a small thing, but man, like, the convenience of this location cannot be overstated. Because we shoot so much stuff where you're like, oh, you're in Parma, Idaho. You're not even Parma. You're a 20-minute drive outside of the thriving metropolis of Parma. And don't get me wrong, the burgers at the little restaurant there are pretty good, but that's all there is, man. Like, it's pretty nice to have like all the amenities right here.
MSP is a hub airport. I mean, it's a Delta hub.
Yep.
You're 40 minutes from the airport. Like I said, all interstate. There are a couple hotels nearby. The ones closest are okay, but they're 4 minutes away.
Yep.
There's a pretty good one the next exit down, and then we are just right outside the Minneapolis metro, so you're within 40 minutes of any hotel chain you choose to prefer. It does check a lot of those boxes for sure. And we have lots of ideas of stuff we want to try for next year. I'm coming out of stage design retirement.
Oh god.
I have announced it. I will be designing the rifle stage next year.
Oh god.
We got big plans. But yeah, and we really look forward to keeping it going, and kind of rekindling the momentum behind multi-gun in USPSA, and collectively, I think, bringing everybody together into a more cohesive rule set. Yeah. Well,
I'll close it out with this, you guys. The last time I shot Multigun Nationals was 2017, and I had such a bad experience because of all the USPSA shenanigans, and the staff there was so salty that I promised I would never come back. So it took until 2017 until 2025 for me to shoot another one. And exactly the opposite of the last one. This one was good enough that I'm never missing one again. So come on out, because it was fan-frickin-tastic. And with that, keep your overlays handy, because unlike Parma, they actually do use overlays here. It's pretty sweet.
We overnighted them.
This is On the Perf, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, everyone.